Hey guys, it's time for Bollocks this evening, and happy hump day. We're all in red because that's who we support.
Are you sharing your drugs with me, or are you keeping them all for yourself? Come on, man. Where's my share?
That's the closest you've come to red.
Where's my share?
I had to take advantage of it. That's the closest you've come to red.
Fair enough.
So, all right, guys. Well, we're happy to be here, and we, of course, are in the
Bozard Ford Studio.
Damn right we are. All right. I want to tell you guys about the incredible people at Bozard Ford. For over 75 years, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a trusted name in St. Augustine, built on family values, honesty, and doing things the right way. With over 1,200 vehicles to choose from, no surprise pricing, and the Drive Happy guarantee, Bozard makes car buying simple and stress-free. That's the Bozard way. Or Bozard different, sorry. Their state-of-the-art facility features 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment maintenance, and over 40 mobile service vans to serve at your convenience. Just off I-95 and State Road 16, Bozard Ford Lincoln. They're driven to inspire.
When your comfort can't wait, homeowners trust Powell Heating and Air. Serving St. Augustine and the surrounding area, Powell offers expert heating and air conditioning service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with flat rate pricing and no overtime fees. From new system installations to emergency repairs and routine maintenance, that's me.
Sound off.
I did one too. I heard me.
Yeah.
From new system installations to emergency repairs and routine maintenance, their skilled team services all makes and models. With a fleet of trucks and fully stocked warehouse, Powell is always ready to help. Call 904-794-COOL. That's 904-794-2665. Powell Heating and Air, your comfort is their business.
All right, and we got to tell you about Hebert Kresge and Associates for trusted financial guidance and personal touch. Turn to Hebert Kresge and Associates CPAs, serving St. Augustine since 1989 with over 125 years of combined experience. Their team offers expert services, tax planning, estate and trust work, business valuations, payroll, and more. Whether you're starting a business or planning for the future, they deliver smart, customized solutions that grow with you. Call 904-460-0747 or visit HebertKresgeCPA.com. Hebert Kresge and Associates, where your success is their mission.
Well, this is always good to say. Made in the USA, Synergy Power Solutions designs innovative portable power systems that can replace traditional fuel generators or make them work smarter. By saving fuel and combining reliable energy storage with solar power when it makes sense, Synergy Power delivers efficient, mission-ready power anywhere it's needed. Their rugged, proven systems have been fielded worldwide and trusted in the toughest environments. When power matters most, count on Synergy Power. Call 800-793-4364. That's 800-793-4364. Made here in the USA, Synergy Power Solutions, smarter power anywhere.
All right, and we got to start off with well, I got to tell you about the rest of our sponsors. Then we're going to talk about the beautiful traffic patterns we have going on right now. Because normally we do the Hit the Blake's traffic report. And while I'm doing this, Blake, if you can kind of see what you can come up with around
everywhere.
I-95, down any place you want to find a camera. But our other sponsors, we got to tell you about is Meehan's Irish Pub, A.D. Davis Construction, St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner, Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, St. and Anastasia Construction Group. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to give you that one.
Thank you.
And then I'll give you these two.
Thank you again.
And Blake, how are you doing on the Hit the Blake's afternoon edition?
All right, so here's the main camera that we're looking at because it happened at mile marker 321.
Okay,
that's moving.
So roads are now back open again on northbound and southbound on 95. So that's a good sign. But
30 minutes ago it was just pure hell
in town. US 1, San Marco, the cross streets trying to get over the Villano Bridge.
All right, where's that one, Blake?
Now let's go up north a little bit. This is mile marker 324. So
in both directions, it's screwed.
Well,
but it is moving.
It is moving.
Who said it was a SWAT event? You think it was an accident with a fatality?
No.
And they may be not mutually exclusive.
All right, Blake flipped over to me while I was still taking a drink.
I'm sorry.
It gets me every time, man. It gets me every time.
Well, that's his game.
That's what he does to his dad. All right, so Blake, Do you have details of what it was?
So officially, from what we've heard from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, is apparently there was a person on the side of the road having mental health issues with a gun in his hands.
Okay, so it was a
yes.
police event. Okay.
But from what I understand, it was a police event. The SWAT team and mental health units from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office intervened. The area is now safe, and the person is in custody.
All right. Well, that's good. All that's good to hear. So
Now they're just going to have to deal with the residual road rage for everybody who's sitting in traffic. Because, it was quiet. Look, it was literally bumper to bumper from just before the fort all the way to, well, I turned off before I got to the Volano Bridge exit on San Marco.
Yeah,
And straight. And then coming into town, forget it, because everybody's looking for alternate routes.
yeah, and then this is the residual traffic coming from Mile Marker 313. So the people that you see on the left are going southbound.
okay.
So those are the people that probably got caught up with the original incident and just packed each other up.
You got any traffic cams in town?
Heather's saying 207's a mess right now. So it's. Whew. Yeah, it seems to be everywhere.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
because everybody looked for alternates, and there weren't a whole lot of
It's what
them.
happens when we all wear red.
Yeah,
And I'm
see?
drinking from a red
See?
glass.
See?
And, this is what happens. So
Yeah, well, take that as a message.
we're going to see. We're going to see in the midterms.
Live and learn.
We're going to see.
You're not going to see anything in the midterms
Yeah.
because now the Supreme Court has
no,
just said.
hold on.
Wait, let's see what we got. What's that?
Most importantly, this is the traffic report right now, because this is what it looks like right now. It looks like some of the off ramp is disabled. It looks like, or it actually looks like there might be another traffic issue coming. It looks like this is.
Where is that? Is that at 207?
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
I believe this is north. So I believe we are looking at the camera. The left side is actually going up northbound.
Really?
Yes, because from what it looked like, there's woods right there. I believe if we were looking at the southbound cam, we would be seeing like the best bet in the racetrack and the hotel that's right there. But so it looks like this is looking towards northbound.
So that's
northbound. on the left side.
northbound is screwed. Southbound looks to be moving.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Midterms. So
Go ahead.
So
I think midterms have everything to do with gas prices because that seems to be the pattern where if gas is screwed, the side that in loses, and if gas is not screwed, then the side that's in seems to stay in place. Right now, gas is screwed.
Well, there's no real equity in elections any longer, and legislatures. Look, Florida's about to start playing the game too. DeSantis has declared, I can get you 4 more congressional seats in Florida. The only thing I have to say about it is be careful what you wish for because you might just get screwed in the end.
Well, we kind of got screwed in the 2020 census.
Right, we were
Florida.
undercounted apparently.
Yeah, we got screwed, and
because people move too fast.
No, it's not because people move too fast. It's because Florida was red and we had blue in charge, and that's kind of the way it works.
When in recent 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Who was governor 6 years ago?
No. Blue was in charge of our electorals, and that's where the congressionals come from. So.
Yeah, but it's done by the states. When was Florida?
No. We're talking the electorals. It's not the states can't say how many representatives they're going to have.
They have X amount of numbers, but they can tell you where they're going to be because they're just
they're
freaking gerrymandering the world now. Because I'm sorry, we can't give you 2 black districts in a state that's a third black.
Hey, newbie to Florida.
Everyone gerrymanders, Lenny.
Newbie to Florida. Let me show you
Right.
some gerrymandering bullshit when the Democrats were in charge.
Well, they're not anymore, so now you guys are playing.
Did you see the I-10 snake?
The one that went across?
Yeah.
Yeah, and where's poor Al Lawton now?
It went into certain regions and came out, and there was a Kareem Brown's district.
Yeah.
You ever see that bad
I
boy?
have.
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks like a spider.
So there's no such concept any longer of equal representation because if you can't get black people into a congressional district where they can vote for themselves, it's not going to matter. And those are being look, Louisiana's going to have possibly 1 black electoral district.
Okay.
Because they're just taking the second one out because Louisiana won the lawsuit. Because God forbid anybody sits with their thumb up their ass and doesn't do gerrymandering when they're supposed to, which is once every 10 years.
Okay, now you're making the assumption that people won't vote for a black candidate simply because they're black in the state of Florida.
No, I'm saying that they're diluting the votes because people are grouped into areas. And first of all, congressional districts are too large to begin with for representation.
I agree.
So first of all.
If you're on one of those outskirts of a congressional district, you're screwed because you're getting zero representation.
Right. If you're in a rural area that's based around a city.
If you're in Duval or St. Johns County and a piece of Putnam County comes into it,
right?
Putnam County's screwed.
Yeah.
And that happens to all those.
And the reality of it is the needs of the people, the constituents in Putnam County may be completely different than certainly Duval County and a major portion of St. Johns County.
Yeah.
So that's why those districts are way too large. But at one point in time, you gerrymandered every 10 years after the census. Nowadays, you don't like how the elections are going. You don't know how the representation is. And you're going to gerrymander every 15, 20 minutes, it seems like now. So the only thing I'm hoping for is that Texas gets a big surprise where all those Hispanics that they tried to lump into districts are going to say, okay, fine, the border's closed. Now we don't need Republicans anymore. And they'll vote Democratic.
And I don't think that's going to happen because Republicans, the Latin vote is a religious-based decision maker in a lot of times.
Sometimes,
right?
yeah.
And right now, as we stand as a country, decision makers that use religion as part of their decision making, they're going to lean towards Republican side, and that has kind of moved in that direction. Democrats kind of hurt themselves, thinking, oh well, if we pull in the Latins, they're all going to stick with us, and that backfired. Well, and it has more to do with how you make your decisions for your family. And a lot of times, not in all cases, but a lot of times, if you're a religious-based decision maker, you're going to vote Republican. And that shift has shown in the last 2 elections as it's grown in the Latin population.
Well, but particularly the Latin population or the Hispanic population in Texas was voting about the border. The border is no longer an issue in Texas. According to the president, they've had 8-9 months of 0 people crossing the border. Fabulous. Wonderful. More power to you. So you don't have to build that wall and waste all that money? Good, because apparently whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah.
So take that money and spend it on feeding programs. How about building houses?
Okay.
How about something that's going to benefit people?
I've been picking on schools because they've been picking on parents and vouchers.
Yeah,
Give it to the schools.
Yeah, and don't give it to the private schools. It's a charter school is one thing.
No, vouchers need to
You
stay.
get into a parochial school, spend your own freaking money.
Here's something I don't agree with. Private schools should pay for their own security. Okay? I think they should pay for their own security. They're out there doing their own thing.
Because there's another option.
So I like the voucher program. I think it helps families that didn't have that option before.
Moving to a different school.
Moving to a different district
because there's a charter school.
And I think it's more important, not so much in St. Johns County, but in South Florida. Where you're stuck in your district, you're stuck in your school, and I think it's more important in those locations. We have great schools here, so I think it's more important there and more important in heavily populated areas where there are failing schools in a lot of these different districts, and it gives those parents that really want to do right by their kids an opportunity. So I think it's definitely there. But I can tell you, if you're a school district person right now, talk to your public. If you want more money and you want support, talk to them about the programs you're mandated to do that these other schools don't have to do. Special needs,
unfunded mandates,
transportation, food, all of these things are what breaks the budget, not the vouchers. Because if you add up all those things, it's way, way more than what we're talking about with the vouchers. And if you took all the kids that are in private schools right now and said, here, now we're putting them in the public schools, it would absolutely break their budget, crush their budget entirely. Even if they got every penny that they're claiming that they're losing, they wouldn't be able to support it. They just wouldn't be. I mean, it would absolutely crush their budget.
Well, when there was a functioning Department of Education and a functioning Department of Agriculture, A lot of that money came from the federal government to help the schools and certainly to help the feeding and the lunch programs and the breakfast programs in the schools, especially for, under supported
There is
children.
no reason right now except for bad management right now for our schools to be in trouble with the ad valorem dollars that we're bringing in that they get. All right. I'm telling you right now, there is no reason. 2007, 2008 sucked. Absolutely was awful. We didn't have the money. Everybody, no one was paying their taxes because everyone was belly up because of
Right.
all the bad loans that were out there.
Make a lot of good money on, you can make a
and
lot of
no
good
one-
investments on house liens.
No one was, no, ad valorem just plummeted.
Right.
You want to see how an economy's doing? Check the golf courses. Because that's where extra money goes.
That's disposable income,
It's
right.
disposable income.
Right.
If the golf courses are doing well, the economy's doing well. And that is where all that comes from. So,
Yeah, but it's an interesting conundrum because you don't hear the "woe is me" in New York, where teachers make 14 times the amount of money that people make teaching in Florida, and they seem to be supported. And the voucher programs are dramatically different. My only problem, look, I think vouchers. You got to take your kid to a magnet school, a charter school. More power to you. Get that kid the best education you possibly can. I personally have a problem with having federal money paying for somebody to go to a parochial school. Be it a Hebrew academy, a Christian school, whatever it is. You want to send your kid to a religious institution, be my guest, do it, pay for it yourself. I don't want to pay to support you to go to a school when there is a public school that's available or a charter school or a magnet school that's available. Just, no vouchers for parochial education. I'd be a very happy man.
yeah.
Of course, in this country today, everything's about religion. So,
Yeah. I think most countries it is.
well, it's too bad because you know what?
The countries that don't have some type of religious base to them are really not doing well, unfortunately. And
Well-
that's coming from an agnostic.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not.
Right. It's hard to make a case that the Taliban is doing well,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Afghanistan, which is a theocracy, is doing well, right? Or Iran, which is a theocracy, is doing well right now. Yeah. But you listened to King Charles yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you catch his line about him being a Christian,
Yes.
and then going on and saying, "But that doesn't matter"? And he started talking about how I don't care if you're blue, right, green, orange,
Yeah.
or nothing. That shouldn't matter as much as just dealing with what we have to deal with. So I sort of like that in his speech as well.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed his speech. I thought his timing was perfect.
Yep.
His humor.
Yep.
His renovation of 1814.
Right. That was a great line.
Of the White House.
That was a great line.
I thought that was beautiful. I mean, it was timed perfectly.
Right. He was talking about he didn't recognize the East Wings when he got here. He said, "But you know what? We tried to redecorate the White House in 1814. It didn't go so
we
well.
We renovated.
Right.
No, he said we renovated in 1814,
Right.
and no one appreciated
Right. He burnt it. Right,
No one
exactly.
appreciated it.
Poor Dolly having to run with the painting.
it. Yeah. So,
And he
no.
was talking about the two Georges. We talked about that yesterday a little
Yeah.
bit. The two Georges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was great. Great speech.
So, no, I enjoyed it. You can tell he's a
Right guy.
a well-educated man, and a man of heart and compassion.
Right.
But
He's got global
he
priorities.
he also doesn't have the stress that
Well, he's
the
not
prime
elected.
minister.
Right.
Prime minister
Right.
has stress.
Right. He's not elected. They
The
can't
president
fire
has-
the king. They can't vote him out of office.
The president has stress.
Correct.
Well,
Well, a lot of it he brings on himself, unfortunately.
yeah, they all do. So they all do. I mean, and that's
And we're in a war to nowhere
Yeah.
again.
yeah.
See what
So
happens with that one.
well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I can tell you this: the longer this goes on, those people in the middle that somewhat gave support
Right.
will leave him day by day.
Oh, it's eroding.
Day by-
it's
day by
eroding.
day.
It's eroding already. It
Yeah.
really is.
Day
Even
by
in
day.
the Republican caucus, it's starting to erode. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
All right, we got to talk about the mayor race because there was some big news today that happened this afternoon after the morning show. We'll talk about it a little bit more on the morning show. We usually don't do local news on this show.
Right.
But Commissioner Blonder, who was going to run against Commissioner Garris, has withdrawn. So now it's just Commissioner Garris, and Commissioner Blonder will keep her her commission seat.
Right.
John DePrater still has another 2.5 years on his seat.
Okay.
So if everything stays the way it is, we will still have 3 of the 4 commissioners back.
Okay.
And then there's 1 seat that Jim Springfield is leaving his seat. There's 1 person, Matt Brown, is running in that one. And then for the other seat, which Commissioner Garris has left to run for the mayor,
Right.
has 2 people in it, Ashley Barnes and Code Robbins. So, and they have approximately a month before all the deadlines, and you got to make all of the decisions and stuff like that if people are getting in or people are getting out. But it was a big announcement today, Commissioner Blonder. And if these 3 commissioners stay, it's a 3 very unique and different personalities, which is perfect because
Right.
we need representation from everybody in the community, and all of them are reasonable people to have a conversation with. All of them are reasonable people that listen to the people that are talking to them.
Okay.
They're all good listeners, and to me, being a good politician is being a good listener. I'm happy we get to keep Commissioner Blonder as a commissioner. We get to keep, hopefully no one else jumps into either one of those seats. And we get to keep Commissioner Garris, who will be the first black woman mayor. We have had a black mayor before, but she'll be our first black woman mayor for the city of St. Augustine if this stays the way it is for the next 5 weeks.
So the mayoral election in St. Augustine is at large, and the rest of them are done by districts, wards, whatever?
No, they're
All at
seats.
large?
They're seats,
Right.
but they're not districts. So you can live in any part of the city,
Right.
and it's seat 1 through 5.
So what makes that seat a seat?
It's just, that's what it is. It's just a seat. Like, it's not a district. Like, the county districts are all county-wide, but you have to live in that district to represent that district,
Okay.
and you don't have to live in that district to run, but you have to move to that district if you get elected.
To serve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a district, and then the way the city calls them, they call them seats.
Okay.
But you don't represent, like, there's not a representation of downtown. There's not a representation of North City. There's not a representation of
Davis Shores.
Lincolnville or the island. Ironically, the 5 district commissioners we have are pretty far spread out throughout the
Okay.
city, which is kind of nice.
Right. It helps. Sure. Absolutely.
Which is
you
kind of
get
nice.
a perspective.
And,
a real
and that's
perspective. Yeah.
and that's kind of what I was trying to get to with the 3 that will stay in place. We got good representation. Our mayor, she was one of those Davis Shore people, like you said,
Okay.
she was an Islander.
Right.
So I don't know if we have anybody coming from that area, but that's currently running. I don't know the
Does
location.
Commissioner Garrett still live in Davis Shores?
No.
Okay.
No. Commissioner Mayor Sykes Klein lived in Davis Shores.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
But she's not running for re-election.
Yeah, she's not
Right,
running.
okay,
That's what I'm
fine.
saying. There's no one from that region
Okay.
that I know of right now. But it was big news in the city. Wanted to make sure people knew it was out there,
Okay.
and get it out to everybody. So,
Be interesting. Now, do they have to meet petition thresholds?
yeah, but it's you got it.
1,500?
Oh, no, it's way less than that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 50.
Really?
Because
Okay.
it's like I think it's
That's
like
a half an hour,
5.
that's a half an hour in one neighborhood.
Yeah, I think it's like 5% of the voting voting totals from. So I think there's like
Registered.
6,000 votes in the city or something like that. So
In the city of 16,000,
yeah,
give or take, they'd say.
yeah, but I think it's by actual registered voters.
Okay.
So let's see what that is.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really low number. So it might even be 1%.
That's an afternoon with a clipboard
Yeah.
knocking on the first 12 doors you see.
Exactly.
All right,
It's a
gotcha.
really low number when it comes to that. Like the countywide one is actually a challenge
Mm-hmm.
to get your petitions in, but you have also the ability to pay for your petition.
Not so much anymore in Florida. They changed the law. I don't know if it still allows you to do that. But
Oh, really?
now, yeah, they of course, because people were paying people to go out and get, things. So all of a sudden they become suspect if, well, they're just looking for names. So is it forgery? Are they real? Did they, whatever it is. So Florida, I think last year, it might have been earlier this year, but it was in the last year, passed a law about paid petitioners.
Gotcha.
And you cannot do that any longer. Or if you do, there's some serious hurdles you have to jump over to be able to do that. Because now they're microscopically checking every name on those lists. So that's more for congressional or for governor, pretty much, in the federal elections. But still. But coming back to that last comment I made, it's going to be interesting to see, because if gas prices don't come down, you can be a Republican running in a Republican-leaning district, and people are pissed off. They'll either not vote for you, and then the Democrats can sneak in with a lower participation rate. Or they'll just cross party lines to say, look, you ain't helping me. I'm going to give somebody else a shot. So we'll see. And that's the point I was making in Texas, is that there's a expectation that the Hispanics that swung to the right will swing back to the center in this next election. And the Republicans may not be as fortunate as they think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it has to do with gas prices. Yeah. I'm telling you, and I started saying this when I first went on radio, 14 years ago. When it comes to midterms and it comes to these type of things, they're blaming what's happening right now. And when they're standing at the pump, and they're doing that, they're like, well, screw these guys. Let's get somebody in different and see if they can help this situation. And that trend has continued for those 14 years.
But I also think it's a foolish expectation, because your congressman,
very little to do.
Your congressman has nothing to do with gas prices.
But
and even your governor, your state legislatures have very little to do with the gas taxes.
There's a very old saying. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what he said. It's how it makes you feel.
Right.
And that if you're standing at that pump and you don't feel good about it,
right,
you're looking for somebody to blame. All right, my phone is over here blowing up with different spam calls and stuff. So I've been checking my face. I don't think anything's on my face. So
no,
we're good.
We're
good. No bugs.
Okay.
No bats in the cave.
Yeah, we will make fun of your trivia. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, we might. But
Yeah,
not for that.
That's probably going to happen.
Not for that.
All right. Vacation destinations is on my list.
Okay. Mine too, for some reason. I can't quite put a finger on it.
Okay, it's on your list too.
Oh yeah.
Weird. It's like we looked
Go figure.
It's like we looked at the same list. But with what's going on in the world, is there places that you want to go right now that just either aren't affordable because of what's going on in the world, or you don't want to go there because
of what's going on
in the world?
Right. Absolutely.
So I think when there's conflict like this, and believe it or not, St. Augustine was up in room nights in the month of April.
Okay.
And I believe this, and you tell me if you think this theory is true. A lot of people that come to St. Augustine drive here.
Right. I was just going to ask, what about the gas prices as far as bringing people into town?
But one tank of gas doesn't hurt. Right. 3 tanks of gas to get somewhere hurts. So our visitors, I think, are coming from closer destinations. Right. Yeah. But the fact that they're still coming here is a wonderful thing.
Right.
So,
well, it's not that expensive a city to get to when you get here. It's not like going to Disney or Universal where it's $100, $150, $200 a pop just to get into the park and wait on lines to go on a ride and get 4 rides in the course of a day. Here, you've got the Alligator Farm, you've got Fort Mose, you've got the fort, you've got a lot of things to do. The train rides, the walking tours.
Trolley, yeah.
Yep. Are all by theme park in Orlando standards exceedingly affordable in comparison.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you heard me complain about. I took Maeve and Rebecca and I went to Disney for 2 days, and I went to Ecuador for a week.
Right.
Much cheaper than my 2 days in Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, when I go on vacation, I'm not a ramen noodle guy. I mean,
if you're doing it, you may as well enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
So I'm feeling that right now. My bank account's feeling it.
When the bills come back. Oh,
my bank
brother, I
account's
am leaning into that with you like you don't even begin to know.
Feeling it right now. Like, wow, that was a great vacation. And then like a month later, like, Ooh, that was a great vacation.
Right, exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we lose a little bit of energy out of it when you say
Yeah.
it. That was a
Oh,
great
believe
vacation.
me.
Yeah,
I just had to rearrange a bunch of stuff to pay for Portugal.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, but
we're all good.
But like I said, Disney is, I think they're really hurting right now with what's going on with the travel expenses. Blake, can you see if you can find out attendance at Disney World if they're up or down for the month of April?
Sure.
Well, the interesting thing is going to see, the summer numbers, July and August in particular, because if everything is going as forecasted and the jet fuel crisis becomes what it is,
Yeah, if it continues,
right, airfare coming from Europe, you're not going to get your European visitors coming to Disney. And there's a lot of them that travel to Disney because it's,
Yeah, no, it's a huge destination for them.
It'll be interesting to see if like Euro Disney in Paris picks up as opposed to, Disney World in Orlando. And, Disneyland Shanghai or wherever the one is, or Tokyo, does better than, the original Disneyland in Anaheim
Yeah.
because of airfares and costs. So.
Well, Anaheim's so
All right.
small.
So
They're trying to
yes.
expand it and they're not doing
so
well.
unfortunately, Disney does not publicly report like month-to-month figures,
okay.
but based on like estimates from like the Disney adult experts out there, so it's apparently this weekend's probably gonna be like the so apparently we're in like the little bit of like a good dead season right now.
So there's a lull,
until
there's
May.
a lull
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
So if you want to get on two more rides on your trip to Disney World, go now because the lines will be shorter.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you won't have many people in front of you.
Yeah, because yeah, so yeah, so right now this is gonna be like the last good weekend at Disney because it starts building back up again and coming to May, and especially the big weekend is gonna be Memorial Day weekend at Disney.
Okay. All right. What just popped up?
What's that?
On my 904 screen, it said Kamala wins Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. So
How'd you get it, Peter?
I actually pulled up. I was looking at how many voters in the 2024 election voted Republican in Massachusetts. Trying to talk about Lenny's points about gerrymandering. It's like, okay, so Democrats don't gerrymander at all.
they absolutely do.
So what you're saying is should there also be a 36.5% representation for Republicans in Massachusetts, or should
why
all
not?
11?
What does California look like?
Now, or we'll see what happens because as soon as that went down, oh, we're suing you. Virginia, we're suing you. I mean, the courts are way, way too involved in this, first of all. The politicians have no freaking backbone. You sit there, you play by the rules, you come back in 10 years, and in 2030, you see what the numbers are, you see how the states shake down, and you reapportion then. But until then, live with it, because that's the way it was designed. Not to, we don't like these numbers.
Let's go with the other side. Florida got cheated out of two representatives in electorals because the guy who was in charge didn't agree with the census in 2020
Yeah.
and left. We're supposed to have two more electorals than what we have
Which
right
means two
now.
more congressional districts.
Yeah, two more congressional
Right, 'cause
districts.
that's what it's based on.
But why aren't the Democrats complaining about that?
I'm sure to some degree they are because they're not going to come back in and they're not going to come back in Duval County.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a new district in Duval County.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was supposed to be by areas that are growing in
Right.
population.
Right.
But, I mean, and Duval County's up there and one of the ones that's growing.
I would think so.
So-
But by that same token, then it dilutes. If you just keep putting more people into the same congressional district, it dilutes your representation as an individual. Because if there were 250,000 people in a congressional district, and now there's 350,000 people in a congressional district, at the end of the day, it's just tougher to get a hold of your congressman. So,
Well, I mean, Florida was the reason it was done is Florida has become a red state.
yeah, there's a million.
And if we gave them
0.5
two more electorals, that's two more reds against the blues come 2024. And it didn't seem to matter. It didn't
No.
matter. But I think Florida and I think one other state, it might have been Texas, got gypped some electorals.
Well, I mean, it's a timing issue as well because people are so mobile
but
now.
I'm going to your statement about use it for the census.
Right.
But when the census came around and the people were in charge, they chose not to use the census.
Well, why?
So, I just gave you the reason is
Well,
because,
you know,
yeah,
I mean,
I gave you the reason because
but
they
you,
didn't.
but you just shouldn't be allowed to do that. If the numbers are the numbers,
100%.
you deal with the freaking numbers.
I
Win or lose.
I agree. I
You
agree
know,
with that. Both
you know,
both sides are wrong.
Right. They need to be adults.
But if you know, you know, one side see them doing it, and then this side goes,
Yeah.
oh well, I'm just going to let it slide. That's never going to happen.
Right.
You know, it's like when the Republicans impeached Clinton.
Right.
Now the Democrats are like, all right, we got to get our opportunity. When we get an opportunity, we're going to impeach you. And you know, they went after Trump.
Well, he made it easy for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, he's not likable.
Well,
You
that's
know,
like I said.
he's not likable.
You
But I mean, that started. I don't know if Trump gets impeached, or they even attempt to impeach it because it's a big waste. They didn't
a
have
waste
their
of time,
votes.
right,
They
right,
didn't have the votes. The Republicans didn't have the votes.
Right. It's a fait accompli. You know what the
And-
result's going to be.
You know what the result's going to be, and it's going to cost us money.
And time that they
It-
should be doing something productive.
Exactly.
Like legislation.
But if the Republicans don't do what they did to Clinton in the 90s, I don't think the Democrats do to Trump in his previous, when he was 45.
Right.
I don't think they do what, knowing they don't have the votes.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Right. It's you know, and the one thing that the freaking congressional and Senate leaders are good about is counting votes.
Mm-hmm.
So why they wasted the time, the money, and the energy to make you know, it wasn't even a Pyrrhic victory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you embarrassed the guy, big deal. You pissed him off, big deal. It doesn't make you accomplished nothing at the end of it except wasting time and money that could have been used on better processes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, it also alienated people from each other. So, oh, you're picking on my guy. Well, then I can't help you do something. And where does that accomplish anything positive?
All right. Here's something I want to ask. And where are you at as far as the Democratic Party? Because there seems to be an old school kind of wants to shift towards the moderate. And then there seems to be a younger group, the Omars, the AOCs, that want to lean into the more radical liberal side. Where do you fall, and where do you see success coming? Because I know where my thoughts are from the Democrat.
Well, I think I referenced Tom Suozzi yesterday. And if I didn't, look into Tom Suozzi. He's the congressional Democrat on the North Shore of Long Island out of Glen Cove. And he is just trying to broker peace with everybody and get people to move the thing forward, get legislation going, shared commonalities, which there's more commonalities than not. But once you put a D and an R on it, well, then I can't do that because you're a them and not an us. And that is the dumbest freaking thing ever.
That's what aggravates me.
You know, that's just dumb. And I fought about that. I fought that my entire 8 years on the city council.
Yeah.
You know, because Long Beach was a very Democrat-Republican city. And I would sit next to a kid who was the vice president of the city council when I was not the president, when I was in the minority for a couple of years. And I would say, Tommy, look, man, look at this. This makes perfect sense. It's, you know, he said, I absolutely agree with you. But you know what? I'm not voting for it. So, but you just said it's good sense and you agree with it.
See, that's
And,
not
you know,
good
yeah,
government.
well, you know, so
That's
that's just insincere. You shouldn't be in that seat.
Well, I mean, you know, I really have a problem with people that are too extreme on both sides. You know, and it's not one side; it's on both sides when they're too extreme. You know, work for you got your 10%ers on either side, and those 10%ers usually control what's happening. Unfortunately, and the 80% in the middle get screwed. And so that, I mean, the Democrats have to figure out their own division, in my
All right.
opinion.
Well, I'll answer your question then.
Yeah.
I think that the older Democrats that have been there forever, Chuck Schumer, Steny Hoyer, Nancy Pelosi, they did a lot of good things in their time, but you know what? They're old. They're not up on what's going on with the changing world around us. And I think, and some of them were exceedingly liberal. I mean, Nancy Pelosi comes from the most liberal districts in the country, San Francisco. So I think there's a lot but I think that the youth movement is getting a little bit over their skis. in the fact that I think they're going too far to the left,
They're too far left.
and I don't know that that's going to be productive in the long run because you need to reach out to the middle. And if you're going too far to the left, you're going to alienate the middle. You're never going to get the conservative right on your side to begin with. And the same thing with the conservative right. You're never going to get the liberal Democrats on your side because there isn't commonality in those positions. But I think that there needs to be younger people in Congress. I think there need to be some better educated people in Congress, and I think you're starting to see that. I think
I think for the most part, you know, it seems to be well educated.
more than the general population.
All right, and I got to give who made the World War 11 comment? Was that Kamala? Who made that comment?
I don't remember.
No, I think it was Elon Omar.
Was it Omar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Omar. You're right. Elon Omar. Right. And I'll give her this. For someone who's reading off of a monitor and reading off of a piece of paper and doing, which is what she was doing, she corrected herself.
Right.
But I could see me doing that.
World War 11 instead of World War 2?
Yeah.
Right.
It was two. It was,
well, you know,
it was,
everybody's done that.
It was probably two
eyes.
capital I's
Right.
that didn't look like eyes. They looked like an 11. And as you're going, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen. So I'm not a Omar fan. I think she is her radicalism is not safe as a representative. But her community keeps voting her in, so she has a right for that seat.
Well, 'cause
but
she
it's
represents the community.
But it's not. It doesn't line up with my family. It lines up with the people in that region's
Correct.
family. Okay, and that's what our country is.
Somalia diaspora.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but that to me is what I see as a drag. You know, representatives like Omar and AOC, a drag on the Democrat Party,
It's
because they lose that middle, and the Democrats used to be really good at sticking together. You know,
well, Jeffries has them in lockstep when it comes to an important vote. Schumer, you know, tries. Hakeem Jeffries, you know,
but they don't have the big strategy together. They vote together, but they don't have the big strategy when it comes to midterm stuff. They did well with candidates with military backgrounds, strong
more of that this
strong
term.
women candidates, and blue collar educated candidates. You know, and the radicals didn't do well. The further left ones did not do well. You know, so they have the strategy if they can kind of figure out how to bring.
I think the Democrats are getting back to the democratic strengths of labor, unions, protectionism for people in their industries and their jobs, which is, you know, right now, you know, your industry could disappear tomorrow and you have no protections. You get fired and you have no protections, especially in a state like Florida where, hey, we don't like you, we're firing you. But you can't do that. Sure we can. Have a nice day, go away.
Yep.
But I think they're getting back more to the working class appeal than the intellectual appeal. And I think that will be a big favor if the economy is still shaky, which, you know, in, what do we got, 5 months to the election?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's going to be the case. So I like the fact that the Democrats are getting back into the labor union issues, the working class issues, the affordability issues. I don't think the Republicans have any overarching plan that's any different than they've had, and I don't think the Democrats writ large have any overarching plan to move the country forward in a positive fashion. I don't think the great minds are meeting and coming up with brilliant plans. You know, some of the things that we saw, some of the strategies, some of the world-saving issues that came out of the 60s and the 50s aren't happening anymore, and even the late 90s and early 2000s are not happening any longer.
Well, because we're pushing against each other. One's on one side of the rock and the other one's on the other side of the rock, instead of pushing the same direction with the rock. So that rock's not going to go anywhere. Last question before we get into Kentucky Derby. The representative senator from Pennsylvania, tall guy.
John
You
Fetterman.
thinking of Fetterman,
Fetterman.
the senator?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's toast.
But you think he's toast?
They've already said that he's getting no support from elected Democrats in Pennsylvania. If he becomes an independent for the next 2 years of his term, that's fine. People are already lining up to primary him. People are raising money against him now. I don't necessarily know that it's good for his health to be there. He's kind of a one-trick pony, which is Israel. Other than that, you know, and it's funny because I saw a picture of him.
Well, during the shutdown, that had nothing to do with Israel.
What?
He was like, during the shutdown, he was the one Democrat who says, "Us get it back open
Right.
and then have this
Right.
discussion." And he was like the lone Democrat that was doing that.
Right.
That didn't have anything to do with Israel. So you can't call him a one-trick pony.
Well,
So I mean, he's an independent thinker, which I like, and I wish we had more on both sides. And you know, I think it's going to. I think his seat is going to tell us the next 20 years on where we're at with, because it's a purple state, and if the Democrats don't like his representation,
which they don't apparently in Pennsylvania, from what I've been
Well,
reading recently.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, his
'cause
term's not up for
yeah.
another 2.5 years.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, we'll see if he's healthy enough to run at that point.
Well, that's part of it too.
But I like his ability to say, here's what I'm doing. I don't have to listen to them, and I don't have to listen to them.
Right.
And he's kind of doing his own thing. So I enjoy that. I wish we
Well.
had more of that and less D and R.
Well, then become an independent. You know, if you want to act that way, become an independent.
Yeah. So
You know, I mean, how'd it work out for Christian Cinema and how'd it work out for Joe Manchin?
well, it worked out great for Lieberman.
Right. Well, I mean, both of those are out of office, out of government, and you know.
But
now they're
Lieberman
turning-
was that kind of guy.
right.
And
Well, Angus King as well.
And what was the guy's name from the Republican side? Not the son, but the dad, Paul.
Oh, Rand Paul.
Rand Paul. You know, he was that kind of guy.
But he's still a Republican.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You know, why can't Fetterman stay a Democrat? Because he doesn't listen to what Jefferson says, or Jefferson says.
Schumer.
Schumer. Oh, Schumer's on that side. But if he doesn't listen to Schumer and he can't have his own thoughts, then he can't stay a Democrat.
He can, but he would be more successful as an independent. Look, Angus King has been an independent senator from Maine for almost forever.
Yeah.
You might have another independent senator from Maine if this guy, the working class hunter misogynist, beats Janet Mills in the primary.
Misogynist, so you know him personally.
I know some of the things he's written and said.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. So,
Never met the man, but I've read his.
know,
I've read his statements.
yeah. So,
Have you?
Huh? No, I don't.
Well, then
I don't
so.
know.
Well.
I don't know. I don't know the man from Adam, but I read what they say about Omar, but I don't
Right.
call her names either. So
Well.
she gets elected, and that's what I'm saying. That
You know-
left and right has to stop that portion of the conversation.
Well, nowadays there's no secrets, and you say something, it will come back. I mean, there's this K-file thing on CNN. I haven't seen it lately. They haven't been bending it about. But, somebody be running for something, and they pull up something this person said 15 years ago. People are entitled to change their opinions and their thought processes.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the one person I'm going to miss, because I don't know if she's in a position to run. I don't know if they're even going to leave a district for her to run in. She tried to beat Telefaco for senator in Texas, and this kid's got a real good chance of winning Senate, especially if Paxton runs, because I don't think anybody likes him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to miss Jasmine Crockett if she's not going to be in Congress, because she was a hoot to listen to. She was one fiery congresswoman, and I don't know. I mean, she's not done until January 1st,
Well,
but I don't know if she excels the district because she lost the primary for Senate.
Here's the thing, because we see certain representatives, certain senators that are constantly in the news because they kind of like that limelight.
Oh yeah, they look for it.
They like that limelight. What's the guy's
Helps their
name
fundraising.
with the accent that's hilarious?
Oh, you're
of
thinking
the
of
Republican side.
Foghorn Leghorn?
Yeah.
John Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hoot. He's
hilarious.
Yeah.
But
And
to me,
he's a fair thinker on most things.
I think
that's
so, too.
more to the point.
I
I think he's a fair thinker.
I like
Yeah.
him, but it comes down to what's he bringing back to his state. and that's where I judge my representation.
Well-
is what's coming back to the state.
One less black district.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Supreme Court.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's and
okay.
I still don't like the fact that we call it a black because
But that's the language they use.
Yeah, that to me is, I think that is taking a step backwards by even using that language.
Okay. Let me know if you think this makes any sense whatsoever. Because if I haven't misinterpreted this, you can no longer, well, thanks to today's decision, you can no longer gerrymander on race basis. However, you can gerrymander on political basis.
That makes no sense. It should
Thank you.
should be 100%
Right.
on population.
Right. So half of these things,
it should be
like
rigid lines,
Right.
and it should be 100% on population. That's never going to happen because of the
Right, but
gerrymandering rules. But that's
there are rules for gerrymandering?
yeah. Who's ever in charge
Makes the rules.
makes the rules.
There you go.
So-
I mean, the fact that you can rearrange districts to balance the political spectrum as opposed to the racial or economic components of your district makes absolutely no sense.
All
to
right,
me.
it doesn't look like we're going to get the wager wired off because
Well, pick a horse.
we got to get
Unless you wanna do it tomorrow.
we got to get the horses tomorrow because we got to
Okay.
talk a little
All
bit
right.
more about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Um.
Giddy up.
Yeah. No, there's a couple that
Yeah.
that I.
Julie already picked hers out.
Okay, she's got hers.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to do it tomorrow. I don't think
That's
we got
fine.
enough time because we're at 5:53.
All right.
And this deserves a good 20 minutes.
Right. And I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get home. Put gas in my car. and
Yeah,
turn
Blake,
around.
can you do one more quick traffic check for us?
Hit the brakes. Brake.
1 sec. Come on.
So yeah, as Blake's pulling it up, I want to say thank you to everybody out there for the support. Support our sponsors. We are still looking for sponsors on Bollocks. We have 2 spots.
All right, traffic cleared up.
opening on it looks like 95 is wide open.
Do you have any cameras in town, however, for
No.
traffic, Blake?
Okay.
Well, let's work on that, would you?
So, all right. Well, we are going to get out of here because it might take us a little bit longer.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
To get home. But appreciate it. Do you guys have any plugs we got to give today?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right.
Get
Wave
your
and
free
smile,
answer.
Lenny. Wave and smile.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.